Hey friends, welcome to the Moms in Real Estate podcast. I'm Kristen, your host, a community builder, an agent, an entrepreneur, and a mom. And this podcast is for moms that are building a business and they're building life, and we're not pretending like we have it all together. I'm so happy you're here. Let's dive into our episode. Welcome back to Moms in Real Estate. I'm Kristen, your host, and today I have my friend of years now. I feel like we've been friends for 4 or 5 years now, Tina. So hi, welcome.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Yes. I'm excited because for one, I think you're amazing, but for two, you are a recent partner of Moms in Real Estate. So we just want to dive into your whole journey in real estate and how you ended up where you're at and what your specialty is and all the goodness. So why don't you just get us started and tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. Okay, so I'm Tina Beliveau. I'm in Baltimore, Maryland. I have been running a team since 2013. So one of my points of street cred in real estate is I have a lot of experience with team leadership and everything that comes along with that. And we're boutique kind of vibe, referral, repeat focused, like many agents. And one of my other big success stories is that I built a hyper local Facebook group that's been an incredible lead generator for us for basically a zip code, the zip code where I live and want to do business. So that's the short version of my team. I'm with eXp Realty. I've been licensed since 2005. So that is 21 years for the mathematicians, which is very rude because I consider myself 28, but
Totally.
I'm 40 now.
I feel like I'm coming up on a lot of this lately where I'm wait a minute, that can't be the accurate amount of years.
Yeah. There's no way that I'm 40. It's unacceptable.
No, it is unacceptable.
It doesn't track. But yeah, so I've been in the industry for a really long time. I got into it as an assistant in college as a freshman and got my license. So I've seen not every angle to the business, but a lot of angles. I was an assistant. I was a buyer's agent. I was solo. I started my team in 2013. And then one of the many things you and I have in common is I got involved in recruiting and building a brokerage and was very involved in building a local Keller Williams franchise, which is where I was oh, I love helping agents so much. This is totally my jam to just jump in business to business right away and not have to wind you up about your kitchen. You know what I mean? So,
Well, it's really cool because you're so diverse in the real estate industry. And I love when people are able to show all the different ways that you can exist in this space.
Yes. Yeah. And I sort of, one of a big part of my story is I had this big reckoning at the end of 2019. I sort of had all these things in business kind of converge, not go well. I was really in a workaholic mode. I was super burned out. You and I recorded an episode about some of that years ago, the only other time I was on this podcast.
Oh yeah. We need to go in the archives and find it.
I know. I'm curious. I think it was probably more of my story in detail at that time. So the last 6 years of my life have just been this massive reinvention. I left KW, went to EXP, rebuilt my team with a whole new mindset around work-life balance. And it happened right as COVID was starting. So that really gave me the opportunity to streamline in ways I never even imagined were possible with my team. Became a mom when I was that person that was oh, I don't like kids and I will never have them. That was me. So when I got pregnant, people were you? And I was I know.
What's going to happen?
Thought?
Totally.
So my kids are now almost 3 and almost 5 and the light of my life. And I'm an amazing mom. So that's a big surprise in my life.
That's so fun.
Yeah.
I remember one time I was with a bunch of girls that I've known pretty much my whole life. And we were talking about people that surprise you when they're oh, I didn't know so-and-so was going to be such an amazing mom. And my sister's best friend was oh yeah, I completely thought about that with you. And I was oh. I was oh my gosh.
Was it because you were so career ambitious, or is that just a dig at your humanity?
I didn't ask her to elaborate. I'm going to just go with maybe because I was so ambitious. I have no idea. But I remember being thank you for saying I'm such a good mom, but also ouch.
Yeah, I know. The ultimate, I can't even think what the word is for that. Backhanded compliment, I suppose. So
I mean, I appreciate the honesty. That's for sure. Well,
Yeah,
why don't we go back to your Facebook group? Because I know like so many people want to do something similar, and I don't think people realize what it takes to run a Facebook group. So like, why did you start it and how did you grow it?
Yeah, gosh. I mean, there's like so much more to it. So obviously I'm just going to give you like super high level, but I started the group in 2015 when I was doing traditional farming, and I was sending out like 5,000 postcards a month to like a lot of my zip code. And, it was just like expensive and it was a lot to keep up with. So I started the group as like an augmentation. And then I forgot about it. Like it didn't go anywhere. It just kind of sat there with like 200 people for a really long time. And then after COVID started, I actually started a Facebook group for my past clients in 2020. That was like when I started to take groups more seriously. Like I had founded other groups before that, but that was my first time doing something businessy. And that was like a huge win for me at the time because I really needed to re-engage my database. So as that year wore on, I was like, oh, I have this other group and people are just kind of joining it because I think the pandemic, people were just joining local groups more. So I think in 2021, I sold a house from the group. And then I was like, maybe I should invest in this and like really go for it. So since then, I started working on the group at the beginning of 2022. So over the last 4 years, it's grown to about 10,000 members.
So cool.
Which is a lot. I think the census for my zip code is like 15,000 people.
Dang.
So like we've definitely like, I have permeated the market with my brand, with the group specifically. And then to some degree, the properties and people seeing my sign, but like the group has like brought me so much brand awareness. It's crazy. So my team has closed like 20 million in volume cumulatively from it. We get leads every month from the group. And then one of the big things that I figured out is how to farm the group for contact information and use it as a database and email list builder.
Yes.
So that's like my big thing. There's a lot that goes into running a group, but like when it comes to growing your business, if you can grab contact info and then put it into other high performing systems that you hopefully have or could set up, that's where it can become really powerful and become like better leverage for you versus just like another social media grind.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
100%. Maybe just like for somebody who's like, I don't even know what you're talking about, maybe give an example. Cause I love this because it's just like when you're on Instagram, like, are you taking people off of Instagram and into your database or any platform? So even through, if somebody enters into your Facebook group, I'm assuming you have like questions that they have to answer and then probably different posts that you're doing in your group. So maybe just walk us through that.
Yeah. So lead capture on the front end is I have membership questions. And one of them is like, are you moving in some shape or form? It's better worded than that. And then people who answer yes, I DM them. And actually my VA does it now. I just leave those and sit there and she goes through every night. After about a year of the group taking hold, I realized how much of it was delegatable, which is one of the many reasons I'm obsessed with this as a lead gen strategy for myself, because I do very little now with the group myself. So that's the front end, which I used to stress about more. And then I ran a giveaway where people had to fill out a form to win something. And I was like, oh my gosh, I just got like 100 people's contact info at once. Like screw worrying about who answers my membership questions. Like I still do that. And like there is business to be had there. It's just a numbers game. But basically, yeah, I ran this one giveaway that was really popular. I picked an item that was very pertinent to the time of year and the area where I live. It was a dozen steamed crabs from like a favorite crab place because Maryland is like, people love steamed crabs. And I had like 240 people fill out this form. I had spent $125 on the item. There were a bunch of leads and I have like a question box in the form. Like none of this is rocket science. It's just like strategy and like refining and like testing and figuring out what works better over time. And there's a question where they can select like, it's like, do you have any real estate needs right now? Are you thinking of buying? Are you thinking of selling? Are you just curious what your home is worth? Or are you just here for the giveaway? And I won't even bore you with how I learned to ask that, but like those are 4 very important answers. And then I plug everyone into my database and then me or my team members follow up with the people who answer the first 3 questions. And there's usually some people who didn't even mean to check the box or people who don't answer. There's people who are long-term. So a lot of my giveaway leads are like nurture and then they just go in my CRM and my email campaign and I keep an eye on them at like a very low level. And then once in a while you strike gold and someone's like, oh yeah, like I'm ready. Can you, come over tomorrow? And that's like, yes. But
Yeah.
for me, that's not what it's all about. Like, because that's not how lead gen works, relationship based on a consistent basis. Like the real win is building the list and creating the brand and then staying in touch through like really simple leveraged email. And then I just let the responses roll in because we regularly set appointments with people who get my monthly newsletter for that zip code. And they're like, oh, I'm ready. Can you come over? And that's where I'm seeing more and more of a snowball effect in my business.
Hey girls, did you know Moms in Real Estate has a referral network? That's right, we do. You guys have to check it out. It's called the Moms in Real Estate Referral Network on mirereferralnetwork.com. And you can search for moms in real estate all across the United States that can be your referral partners. Make sure to check it out now.
Tell me if this is you. You're between a showing and school pickup, and you realize you haven't posted on Instagram in 2 weeks. You want to show up online, you've heard it can work, but between the kids, the clients, and everything else, content is always the thing that falls off the list. But when it's working, DMs start flooding in from people saying, I want to work with you. Take it from Elena, a busy mom who sold 8 million from Instagram in 1 year, Katie, who hit 3.5 million in 6 months as a brand new agent, and Lauren, who sold 5 million from Instagram just after 1 year. They all lean on Coffee and Contracts, a marketing membership that gives you the content, the strategy, and a weekly content plan so you never have to figure out what to post. That's the difference between wasting time on leads who ghost and attracting your people even when you're offline. Moms and Real Estate listeners can try a free week of Coffee and Contracts content. Head to the show notes, click the link, and if you love it, use code MIRE for $20 off your membership.
Well, I've told you, years ago, I remember I'm on your email list, and I think we should definitely put a way for them to opt into your email list in the show notes because I get your emails and I'm like, oh, I actually really like reading these. And we're all on so many email lists, and I just feel like you've done a really, really great job.
Yeah, thank you for saying that. Like I have strong feelings about it's like I'm not going to send something that I wouldn't want to read or wouldn't want to receive. And I think where a lot of agents get stuck is they're just like, okay, well then what do I send? Or like I don't have time. And like it's not easy for everyone. And like the big thing, like you get my agent facing newsletter, which is like the same philosophy as what I do for like real estate client facing. Is just like I've really taken time to reflect on what is valuable and relevant and then figured out a way that I can do that at like a cadence that's like sustainable.
Yeah.
So like I just send 1 email a month to my sphere and I basically highlight a few things that I'm into right now. This is not like earth shattering, right? Like a lot of people do local content, but I think sometimes it can seem so mysterious and people are like, well, what? Or like, I can't keep that up every single week. Like I personally can't do that. But like once a month, I can sit and look at my calendar and go, oh yeah, we just tried this restaurant. I just went to this playground for the first time in years. And I just invite people to hang out with me through my email marketing and like really just, I write to my email list, my client list, like they're my friend. And people love it. It's crazy.
Well, and I think too, like, the less you rely on AI, like, yeah, do it as a structure, but my gosh, like when you're getting emails and you're like, you just are copying and pasting from ChatGPT, and it just makes me mad because now I have to spend more time deleting emails. Like, if you're just writing from the heart and like sharing things like you're saying, like that you're experiencing, people will actually like really appreciate that and actually like read it, So, and then,
can I just say, you just said everything I wanted to say about that, so I won't reiterate what you said. And it's like, and I say this with love because it applies to me too, but it's like, you just have to use your brain because otherwise people aren't going to connect with it.
Yeah, which is hard right now. Like I struggle with it too because I'm like, gosh, it's so much easier to just like filter everything through chat, right? So now all I do is I use it to say like, hey, restructure this so I don't have run-on sentences and, whatever, more of like the don't make me look like I'm in 3rd grade. But that's about it. But the other thing too is I feel like something that was really helpful for me was I post on Instagram all the time and I'm like, why don't I just take what I just posted and put it in an email? Like, and I think we overcomplicate it. Like I can't do that there and there. I don't think anyone's ever said anything or even noticed, and not everyone sees barely any of my stuff, right? So I think just even that like play has been a game changer.
Yeah. And like, I have 2 Instagram accounts. I have one for agents, which is like where I'm very passionate about right now. I've had a lot of growth. I've been on this like awesome growth journey with that. But for my main account, that's like my local people and everything, like I don't just repurpose my content. Like I literally screenshot what looks like the reel from Instagram and put it in my email because guess what? At least in Flowdesk, social media posts get the highest click through. And then I could go like on and on about this, but part of what works so well about my systems, because I'm kind of lazy about my lead gen. Like I've been doing this 21 years. I have small kids. I don't want to say I'm still burned out, but like I'm just burned out. Like my capacity is just very limited. So like I don't call my clients and check in that much. Like I reply to their Instagram stories. I text people when I can muster the energy. I have a few client events a year. And where I go really hard is just like having quality email that sends them back to my Instagram over and over again, maximize the chance of them following me. And then I'm active on my stories and they either connect with that or they don't. And I just like push my Instagram a lot through my email because then if you're getting my email and you're seeing my social media and then you're also in my database and like getting maybe a few event invites a year, like I'm good. And like if I can't get your business through just that, like that's okay. Like I'll take the people.
So you're screenshotting your reel, and then when they click on that, it's taking them to Instagram.
It just takes them right to the reel. Like it's like a preview.
Yeah, it's great, and I actually feel like this is what Sharon teaches. One of the guys I follow, and I'm like, it's genius, and it's so easy, right? And we don't, but that's such a great gold nugget that you just gave everyone, especially because I know a lot
it's just like. And I lightly repurpose it for email. So it like reads for email instead of like an Instagram-y type caption. And that's that.
Yeah. Okay. So that was so valuable. So, and I know a lot of people, gosh, so many times I get asked this. I would love to have you weigh in on this. So you have 2 Instagram accounts. Obviously you have a business where you help buyers and sellers, but then you also have a business where you serve agents. So I know a lot of people just like struggle with this. Like, should I have multiple accounts? And so maybe just tell us your thoughts.
Oh my Lord.
I know that's a loaded question and you can go so many different ways with it.
No, I wrestled with this for years and I finally started my agent facing Instagram account June of last year. So like 10 months ago. And it was the right time because I knew I was ready to go all in on that. Like, a coach that I work with, it's funny, she and I had a conversation where like she had a realtor account and then she became a coach and she was like comfortable with burning the boat. We like had a whole dialogue about this and just pivoting her content and just being like, I don't care if I lose all this other business, For me, my real estate team is still my bread and butter. It's like 50 to 60% of my income, depending on the year of like the income I draw in, separate from my husband. It's important. And like, a lot of what I have to say that's like agent to agent, like I am just not saying that to my clients. Like it's just not confusing. Me to like talk about how to go from 10 to 20 million in volume or like, but like I do care about those things. So I got to a point where I was like, I'm just too stifled. I'm never going to grow my agent facing business the way that I want to if I don't do this. So it was a very overwrought decision and several things have happened that I predicted and hoped for. I mean, one of the things I hoped for was to really grow the account. And like, I'm knocking on the door of 10,000 followers and I'm just like, I can't believe it. Like I've been working so hard and that's like a whole other topic. Trial reels have been the big driver of my growth.
Wait, 10,000 followers in 9 months?
I mean, I'm at 8,500, but like it hit me today. I'm like, Tina, I'm going to get to 10. This is not like a question.
That's huge.
Yeah. And they're all realtors. It's not like a bunch of like junk. It's my niche, you know?
That's gold.
I know. I'm so pumped. I'm so proud of myself because I have worked so hard on my content.
Okay, so let's talk about something else that you just said because I don't talk about this a lot on the podcast and I feel like I don't know why I don't. You talked about a coach. And so how important do you think it is to invest in your business? Like you are a coach, but yet you're always coached. So I think a lot of times like it's really hard for a real estate agent to be like, oh my gosh, like I don't have a consistent income for me to say, okay, I'm going to pay a coach, whatever it is, $500, $1,500 a month. It's scary, right? So let's talk to that.
Yeah. And I think it's like such a duality. It's a total paradox because on one hand, like we should all be fiscally responsible and we shouldn't do things that make zero sense. But if I think about the coaching that I've paid for over the years, like back in the day when I got a Buffini coach, this was before Instagram, before there were very few coaching companies like Buffini, Mike Ferry, and like, I don't even know.
Totally.
It was $1,000 a month.
Uh-huh.
And I was selling like 8 houses a year. Like I had no business on paper doing $1,000 a month coaching, but I knew that I needed it and I knew that I would use it. So like I have spent on coaching from the very beginning of my career, and it's generally been worth it. I also once invested in a coach that was like not a good fit and also just didn't deliver value. So I think sometimes people have experiences, whatever, but I'm like a quality person. Like, well, it's what we were talking about the other day in our prep call. Like I don't do well sitting in a conference and getting 20-minute sound bites. Like if I want to do something at a high level, I'm going to go find someone who has absolutely crushed it. And I want them to tell me exactly what to do.
Yeah.
Because like I like playbooks and I like to have like sounding boards. So for me, it's essential.
Yeah, I agree. And I think the question I always try to ask myself before going into whatever coaching program, mastermind, or anything is, am I in a space to commit fully to this? That is the question. Because you can just go into a coaching program and see nothing. But when you're like, yes, I'm going to commit to what I'm learning, I'm going to show up to every call, I'm going to engage, my camera's going to be on, whatever the situation is, I always see like an amazing return, even if it's like not financially, maybe it's mentally. Like right now I'm in like such a self-help phase that all of the coaching I'm going through right now is more on the personal side, which has been so good for me. But yeah, this morning actually, I literally just bought, oh my gosh, I can't even believe I'll admit this right now. It was like $17.77 for a 1-hour phone call. And I was like, ugh, that hurts. But I was like, no, I know this is worth it. Like I've spent time with this girl. I've seen what she can do. And I'm like, I'm going to go with my gut and I'm going to be super open to seeing how it goes. And if it doesn't go great, like it's not the end of the world too. I think you have to like also know it's not the end of the world if it doesn't go perfect. But I definitely like investing in coaching is such a big deal for me.
Yeah. And there's so much more we could say, but I think one thing I'll say is like, it's interesting. I started a course for agents in 2022. So I've been doing that for 4 years and I've sold it. It's been delivered in a couple different iterations. I've sold it in different iterations. Generally, I have a sales call with people before they enroll for them to ask me anything and all the good things that happen when you have a call like that. And it's been so fascinating to notice that people's comfort with investing in a coach has almost zero to do with their income. It's like they're thinking, like I've had people brand new in the business buy my $5,000 course. I've had people producing 10 million in volume say they can't do that right now. Mm-hmm. And so it's just like, I don't know. I think there's like a believing in yourself underneath it. And what you said too is so, so valid, because there are times in my life where I don't have the capacity to show up the way you described, video on the calendar, all that. And sometimes I've had times where I need quiet and I need to be in tune with me and not with what other people think and say.
100. So I literally, the girl that I did the 1-hour phone call, I declined the $14,000 mastermind because I'm like, I'm already in one, but I'm like that, you know what I mean? So it's like you have to be true to what you actually do have the capacity to do at the time. Yeah. As much as I have FOMO and wanted to do the other one, I realistically can't right now. I can't be in multiple masterminds.
Absolutely. And times like that, I just like give myself a hug and I'm like, write it down, put it on your little bucket list. They'll still be there generally, you know,
totally.
And it's like, trust the timing. I think like a big part of my personal growth in the last 6 months and working with a coach I was working with, Jenna Peterson, just an incredible experience. Like one of the big things that I was drawn to her for and that I really wanted to work on was like just believing myself, because I found that I was just like giving up on myself in all these like micro subtle ways, or like avoiding going big because what if it doesn't work? So let me do what I know I'll succeed at, but not really like push my own personal envelope. And I've just really like identified how like I've grown so much as a person, and like my self-esteem is 100 times better than it was when I was younger. And yet it's insane to me to really like look under the hood sometimes and be like, wow, like you just really don't believe in yourself sometimes, like to the capability of what is possible. Or it's just like having faith and trust in like the universe that like that will be available later if I need it. It's okay if I don't do that right now, or it's okay to do it and feel scared and just not like project so far into the future. Like I know some of these are like basic truths of just like trust and faith and all of that, but like that's just been like a huge growing edge for me in the last 6 months, and I've come so far. I'm actually just patting myself on the back because it's like crazy.
I'm
I've
patting
just
you
been
on the
like
back too. I love this.
journaling and like doing affirmations, even though I'm sort of like who does that? Like other people, not me. But I'm like, no, it's really helping me.
Yeah, it is really helpful. No, I love that for you. I feel like I'm so similar in that aspect right now. Okay, so why don't you let our community know, like we are now partnered. You are one of the moms in real estate. Like we want to put our name attached to your name because we believe in what you're doing so much. And so what does that mean?
Yeah, thank you. And I love being part of this community. Everyone is so amazing. So part of what I'm most passionate about is like sort of transmitting what I've experienced in the industry overall, but especially in the last 6 years where I overhauled my life, my business, my team, my systems, to have things be as like refined as possible and like really create the life that I want, which I feel like is said a lot in the industry. But there's so much like for me for years, there was like FOMO and measuring success by just like transaction growth and volume growth. And like, I've really moved into this space of like, I have my dream life now, and it's amazing. And like, there's all these different pieces to it with like my systems, my team, my Airbnb, my kids, my beach house, just like all of that. So like, there's two things that I do. One of them is I packaged all of my actual business systems into a course. So that's called High Performance Agent Academy. That's like my brand overall. So my Instagram is at High Performance Agent. So if you want to find me there and just follow, I'm very active on my stories. In the course, I give everything for my business processes, my email strategy, my Facebook farming strategy. So people who tend to do my academy are already producing at least 3 to 5 million a year, and they know they have a lot more potential, and they want to tap into systems and practices that are not like cheesy or played out, and they just want to like save time. So it's very much like a lot of templates and things you can just take and utilize. And then I've coached agents a lot in a lot of iterations over the years, and I recently formed a small group mastermind called CEO Club. That is designed for agents who are doing 10 million or more and are looking to scale and refine their business, whether that's their profit or their time. And what the pattern is people tend to do my academy and move into CEO Club, or come to me and they're like at that level and they maybe need to refine some of their systems, but they want me to like hold their hand, be deeply involved, help with implementation, and be like part of their internal board of directors and like a sounding board. So that is like a very immersive experience where I talk to my clients on like a day-to-day basis and get pretty involved in their business. So those are my two main pathways. And then I also have some like free products and like templates and things that you can explore on my Instagram if you just want to like sample what I do and figure out if my style resonates with yours.
And what's your Instagram handle? We'll make sure to have it in the show notes, but if you want to say
Thank you. Yeah, it's at High Performance Agent.
Perfect. And you already said that. So not the Tina one.
Yeah, you can follow that too if you want to see what I do on my main account, but my agent account is like the place for all the tactics and getting to know me and how I help agents.
All right. Well, I love all of this. And why don't we wrap the call up by you answering my favorite question, which is if you had to go into business with one celebrity or influencer, who would it be?
Oh my gosh. One celebrity or influencer.
You could say Jenna Peterson, which, by the way, you guys can listen to her episode if you just search it on Moms in Real Estate. She is great.
Yeah, it's funny. I would say, yeah, Jenna's mindset. So it's like her mindset. It's like so inspirational. So yeah, that's my answer. Thanks for filling in my blank.
Oh my gosh, I love it. She's going to love that too. I was just voice memoing with her today. I was like, she is so great. And so, well, that's fun. Okay, well, if you guys need to go head over to Instagram, follow Tina. We will put some freebies and some links and her email newsletter, all that kind of stuff in the show notes. And make sure, if you're not, that you head over to the Moms in Real Estate Facebook group so that you can be in community with us. And I've loved having you on, Tina.
Thank you.
If you like this episode, make sure to like and to subscribe so that we show up in your feed. And if you want to stay close, make sure to check out the show notes because I have a lot of ways for you to do that.